What's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Minds. Got Mr. Anderson with me,
Sir.
Jay Moore, Mr. Sparks, as always. Glad to have you guys here with us this Saturn's Day. Uh, Anything you guys want to say to the people before we get started, Jay Moore?
Man, as usual, path to everybody, order the focus course. Always have a purpose and a reason behind what you're doing, making sure you're loving, spreading your good energy, and developing yourself. Order the focus course. Path.
Mr. Anderson, anything you want
Yeah.
to say to the people?
What's up, people, man? Man, me and my girl, we was talking the other day, man, about the Jeffersons, man.
Okay.
She was talking, when they moved up, player, they went to the luxury apartment. She was talking about they should have got a luxury house. I said they already had a house.
Mm-hmm.
They had a house on All in the Family, nigga. They rented that bitch out. They was getting paid. They talking about they talking people out getting houses. I said it was a luxury apartment, man. They stayed next door to the white dude on the 17th floor and shit. That's how you move up, man. They was getting bread. He was getting bread from the laundromat and from renting out the house because he was living next to Archie Bunker, All in the Family.
Yeah, man, you ain't never lied, bro. I see why
So,
he's so
we disagreed about that.
Yeah, of course.
Look,
Of
man,
course.
standing next to Archie Bunker, I was so
That's a great one.
That's good.
That's great,
man.
Mr.
That's
Anderson.
awesome, man. That's awesome.
But and as always, man, love you guys. Want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you having a beautiful Saturn's Day. Hope everybody's vibrating at a good frequency. Hope everybody's spreading that good positive energy. We definitely hope everybody is giving and receiving the love that we all deserve. We'll move on to the good information we got about the babies today, man.
Yeah, man, this show is for entertainment purposes only.
And there
YouTube.
just may be a trigger warning or two.
That is awesome. Jay Moore, get us started, bro. Get us started.
All right, I got one out of the United States Attorney's Office, District of Minnesota. Registered sex offender from Minnesota charged with production of child pornography, coercion, and enticement of a minor. This was published on Wednesday, May 21st of this year. In Minneapolis, Robert James Levi, 22 years old, a registered sex offender, 22 years old, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, has been charged by indictment with production and attempted production of child pornography, coercion, enticement of a minor, and offense by a registered sex offender, announced an acting U.S. Attorney Lisa D. Kirkpatrick. According to court documents and court hearings for a 3-year period from February 2022 through February 2025, defendant Robert Levi coerced and enticed a 12-year-old girl in another state into producing child sexual abuse material and sending it to him over the internet. Levi catfished the victim, posing as a 16-year-old boy, exchanging tens of thousands of messages with the victim and convincing the victim she was in a relationship with Levi. In fact, Levi was an adult man and later a convicted sex offender. In February 2024, Levi was convicted of criminal sexual conduct in the second degree in Stearns County, Minnesota, and was required to register as a sex offender. The conviction did not stop Levi. He continued to exploit the victim during the pendency of that case and after he was placed on probation. If convicted in this case, Levi faces a mandatory minimum sentence of 25 years in prison and a maximum sentence of life. And again, that is out of the United States Attorney's Office, District of Minnesota. And again, this is off of the FBI.gov.
Here we go again with the social media or
Yeah.
some type of internet connection with these pervs and the babies.
And the crazier part is just the highlight, because I was super shocked at his age.
Yeah.
Not saying that age really matters, but normally you see guys mid-30s, late 40s, 50s. You know, it's like he's 22 already a registered sex offender, and like they, explained in the article, it just nothing stopped him. Even on probation, he was still attempting contact and coercion with the minor and etc. So
Yeah, and I think maybe I don't know. I can't actually say exactly what episode, but a few episodes back, we talked about how these guys are getting younger.
yeah.
That's messing with the babies. You know,
Mhm.
we saw that in the article. It started at like around 17ish, where these guys were starting to talk to 12-year-olds and stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
starting to happen more now. And as we always state, guys, please just look after your babies. If you can lock
Always.
certain electronical items they have, tablets, things like that, if you can monitor or lock those things, it would be a
Open discussion, open conversation with your children. I know a lot of us as adults look at it as they're the children. There's a certain place, you know, blase will skip. But honestly, being vocal and open with your children, the more they will be open and vocal with you. I got 5 of them. I learned. I used to be an uncle
through
before I had
experience.
kids.
Yeah.
So trust me, making them comfortable to talk to you is the best thing because they'll come to you telling you something you wouldn't even expect
Yeah.
because they're comfortable.
Yep.
So make sure you keep an open line of communication.
That's
with your
great
kids.
advice, Jay Moore. Anything you want to add to Jay Moore's article?
Man,
Okay.
he
Okay.
just, he was tricking people on this one.
Yeah, he found someone young that he could groom.
Mm-hmm.
It's that thing that's going around now with these guys who, for some reason, I don't know if they're not attracted to women, actually grown women.
Right.
I don't know
Look
if
at you,
it's
an 18-year-old at 22.
yeah,
It's the manipulation and the control factor because that has to be like
Yeah,
the
because he
main
started
line.
off lying. Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, so
Okay, well, I'll get us started with the next article. You
okay.
can find this article here on Yahoo News, and this is Phoenix, Arizona, uh, Buckeye, Arizona. A 26-year-old man, another young guy,
Wow.
arrested for allegedly masturbating in the parking lot of Canyon View High School in Buckeye.
What?
According to a release from the Buckeye Police Department, the man, Michael Armijo, was arrested, was seen by 2 female students in the campus parking lot on Thursday, May 15th. I'll go over this. It says the brief. Uh, a 26-year-old was connected to other incidents in the valley as well. He was charged with child sex trafficking, luring, and conducting sexual conduct with the minor. Sorry, guys. Oh no, what is that? The students reported the man to the school resource officer, who relayed the information to the SVU. On Wednesday, May 21st, a car matching the suspect's vehicles was spotted exiting the high school parking lot. Armijo was pulled over and detained. Sorry, I'm gonna start over. Armijo was pulled over and detained. The incident saying he was dropping off a student.
So they caught him. He went back.
Yeah,
And they
he
caught
said
him.
he was dropping off a student. Yep.
Wow. He's
Okay.
stupid.
He was cited for driving with a suspended license and was given a notice for trespassing. Okay. After police let Armijo go, investigators spoke with the 15-year-old students dropped off at the school
Oh.
and learned he had sexual encounters in the campus parking lot on May 5th with her. Armijo was stopped again near his home later on Wednesday and arrested for child sex trafficking, luring, and sexual conduct with a minor. He was also connected to an indecent exposure incident outside Fry's near Indian School Road and Jackrabbit Trail on April 30th.
Wow.
So yeah, this dude likes to show himself to babies.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I don't.
And coerce them to do what they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, it don't have. You know, he was arrested and everything, but it don't have, you know, what's going on with him. Yeah. And you can find this article on Yahoo News. No pictures of Michael Armijo on here, but you can read this full article on Yahoo News here. Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, I got a story from Houston, Texas. This is on News Channel 4. I think it's San Antonio, their website.
Okay.
But the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, has announced the arrest of a suspected trafficker and the rescue of one of the victims. The Office of the Attorney General announced that Devion Dwayne Bird was arrested as part of a sting operation accused of trafficking minors. The arrest came after a proactive investigation by the Office of the Attorney General. They observed online advertisements that led to investigations where they believed a girl under the age of 18 was involved. It was determined that a suspect and one victim were located in Houston. Various law enforcement units, Office of the Attorney General, Texas Department of Public Safety, Houston Police Department were joined together. They say that the victim and the suspect were found in a hotel near the corner of Westheimer and Fondren Road, far west Houston. The trafficking of minors is one of the most heinous and disgusting crimes imaginable, Paxton said, and I will continue to use the full force of my office to put these sick predators behind bars. I commend the brave work of our trafficking unit and law enforcement partners who helped rescue this young victim. Texas will not tolerate those who prey on children and exploit innocent. Again, the victim was rescued and Bird was arrested at the scene and booked into the Harris County Jail.
Awesome.
Yep.
Jay Moore, anything you want to add to Mr. Anderson's article?
No,
Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on to our articles we got for today, guys, with the world news and conspiracy theories. Mr. Anderson, you had something about RFK making America healthy again.
Maha.
Yeah, Kennedy has ordered the National Institutes of Health to investigate the drivers of autism. Somebody's finally trying to look into it. How some shit just appear out of nowhere.
I think a couple episodes back, I talked about how he was getting private scientists or something to look into the vaccines
Yeah.
and to see what was going on with the rise of, you know, the autism of the babies.
We talked about the food dyes, synthetic food colorings.
Mhm.
What else is he doing? Obesity. You know, that's all the chemicals they put in stuff.
Yep.
But you know, they gonna talk shit because they trying to cut the funding for the administration. Let's see, Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, a Mississippi Republican, said she was deeply concerned by reports that the assessment may unfairly target American agriculture, modern farming practices, and the crop protection tools that roughly 2% of our population relies on to help feed the remaining 98%. You know, the glyphosate, Roundup, the weed killer, we're looking into that. You know, we'll see what he does. That's all I can say on this stuff.
And that's what we said last
Get the
time.
chemicals, get everything out of there.
With the trails and the chemtrails and all that. That's what we said last time.
They
All we
put
can do.
bullshit in there and then they call it what artificial or natural flavoring and then they don't tell you what it is. Get all that shit out there.
And that's the real problem.
You feel me?
The basis of it is until they really, get some bills in place and some laws in place for these companies
Yep.
not to put this shit in their food for whatever reasons, if it's preservative reasons, if it's for some fake health, this or that, additives, preservatives, and all of that are not natural.
Nope.
People ain't been living for this dang on long because they had all of this stuff in their foods. So many countries have things outlawed that we still use heavily in our country. They won't allow that to be shipped in their country. They won't allow their people to eat it, use that brand with none of this and none of that. We're one of the last of the dying breeds that's being shoveled with all of the false foods and the jacked up medicines, and it's really terrible because they even accepting us getting half-ass, fake-ass medicines just to shovel it in our face for money. Until they really put their foot down, where these companies and these corporations that made too much damn money giving us fake, non-working shit or falsified food that's going to kill us.
Most of this stuff is petroleum based.
Yeah.
You can go get some French fries from McDonald's, bro. Most of that stuff is petroleum based, bro. So it's just like Jay Moore said, the poisons, Mr. Anderson. It's we know about the what was the stones that got blown up?
The
Georgia Guidestone.
Yes.
And how they wanted a certain amount of people here. And it seems like there's a certain amount of people working on that plan.
Right.
And it's not average Joe's because average Joe's they're not the ones with all the money.
Of course not.
So
or the power or the control.
Mm-hmm.
You're either dead or you're sitting there in your house and you're fat and you're not doing shit.
Or slave.
That's what they want you.
Or slave.
Yeah.
Go punch the clock every day and yeah. But I hope RFK actually does what a lot of people thought he was going to do, because when he was running for president, he was talking a lot of good talk, a lot of big talk. So, like we stated, a few shows back, all we can do is wait and see.
I mean, that's all we can do.
Because we were talking about the dyes and the trails, the chemtrails, a couple shows back.
Like Jay Moore said, man, they need to get some laws in hand, and the people who vote against them, then we need to get them out of there.
Yeah,
because the company should be allowed to put these things and manufacture this stuff, and they know the cause effects.
Yeah.
They know it's causing cancer. They know it's causing alleged ADHD and autism
and the thing
all
that's
of these
sad,
things, man.
most of this stuff is really in the stuff these babies love.
Yeah.
Man, just think about the simple. I feel sorry for everybody who doesn't want to breastfeed when you have your child.
That shit, bro. Yeah.
Man, just think of what the Similac is in the Enfamil.
Yeah.
Man, and you don't know what they put in that stuff.
Shit, they convince motherfucker to put artificial shit in your baby. That makes no sense.
Yeah, bro.
So just word to advice for the mothers and the fathers and the young parents and the first time parents or the second time parents. Please breastfeed. I know I'm not a woman and I can't tell a woman what to do.
At least as long as possible.
But if willing, and women I know, y'all say y'all get sore, sometimes it don't pump right, sometimes or whatever. Breastfeed if you can. It's just a good thing to look into. I can't tell you what to do. It's just a good thing to try to do.
Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the next topic here. Let's go to the United Healthcare. Stop.
Oh yeah, man.
I think Mr. Anderson, had that article.
See what I got here,
And that's the guy who got shot, right?
Yeah, the dude that killed the CEO.
CEO.
Luigi. The shares of the company fell more than 6% on Wednesday after the Guardian newspaper reported that the company made secret payments to nursing homes to reduce hospital transfers, adding to the woes of the healthcare conglomerate. The alleged action, part of a series of cost-cutting tactics, has saved the company millions, but at times risks residents' health, the Guardian reported. Which is basically why old boy was doing that shit.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just goes along with it. They still up to their same old garbage.
So
We know why Luigi was on that.
the truth comes to light. The truth comes to light. I mean, as we've heard of throughout the years, and as the numbers definitely show, once that situation happens, just how much they deny and don't pay out, don't really assist, leave people in effed up situations. And the reality, again, it almost with the with the food and administration, you know what I'm saying, what we're getting in. They need to be passing and putting these laws on. If you are the medical company and you're taking these people money, if they have a claim, you should not be going into it like we trying to find a way not to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, the FDA should be really doing their job.
Exactly. We need to up our standards.
How was the initial thing for them to try to figure out how not to do what you paying the money to do? Like that's asinine
Getting paid
within itself.
Getting paid under the table. Then you have people on the FDA that work for pharmaceutical companies and just stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, you know, it's the money
CEO
and the
resigned
power
on
because.
Wednesday too. Once that stuff came out.
At United Healthcare.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They say if your claim is denied, the National Debt Relief recommends that you ask for a written explanation of the denial. You can also hire a public adjuster for a second opinion and a fair assessment of your property's damage, and hire a legal professional to help you appeal this denial in court once you collect all that evidence.
Yeah, man. Back on the crap with the death care.
Of course.
Because I don't call it that. I call it death care. It ain't health care.
All them insurance companies, just like car insurance, they don't want to pay you if something happened to your car, you done paid all them goddamn years, and they don't want to pay you for a new car. They want to pay you what they want to pay.
And even the crazier part, you know, you brought up the RFK with the, you know, the healthcare, and you know that's going into the foods and everything. Then the United Healthcare, they stockpile falling. That big bill, the big beautiful bill, you know, with them planning on cutting Medicaid on the state level and Medicare on the federal level, and you know the SNAP food benefits and the new guidelines that they're putting in place. They just recently changed it, I guess, for the Medicaid to where originally they were going to change it January or December of 2029, that it was going to be mandatory for said people in a certain class to be working because they would no longer be able to qualify for the Medicaid on the state level and of course Medicare on the federal level. They just, in order to get that 215, 214 vote difference, they altered a lot of the things that were in place in the bill, that being one of them. They changed it to December of 2026. These alleged people need to be working, or it would just be eliminated for them to have Medicaid or Medicare. And the reason I want to bring that up is, who is supposed to take care of the American people? Why are you keep finding ways to take away from the American people?
Because that's what always happens.
Again, we were just talking about 8,000 South Africans that were going to be coming over because they were deprived. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right. So J-Morgan done got into the segment I wanted to before I wanted to. Oh man, can we come back to that?
yes, we can. Yes, we can. I'm good.
I wanted to talk about Allstate CEO. Oh man, but that's fine, man. We can jump into the segment. We'll go there. So, new segment, guys. This is going to be cap or no cap.
Oh, shit.
And this is going to be about the administration. I figured we'll add something new, guys.
Okay.
Now this is kind of opposite of what's going on with these YNs or whatever they want to be called.
Up.
The cap, the cap in this situation is a good thing,
Okay.
and the no cap is a bad thing.
Gotcha.
So we'll go to where Jay Moore was talking about. So we talking about the administration here.
Okay.
You were talking about the administration.
Yeah, I was going in
So-
on just some of the pieces and parts of the big bill because it's a lot of stuff that's in this big beautiful bill. It ain't just with the Medicare and the health care and the food stamps. It goes along with big, heavy tax cuts and situations like that. I have a little other piece of information on one of the parts of the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, it's for the border and
It's
whole
border in
bunch of
there.
stuff.
It's a lot.
It's cutting $1 trillion from federal health care and food programs, while adding nearly $4 trillion in tax cuts steered primarily to wealthy. But it also includes a little notice provision that would force new federal employees to either give up traditional job protections or take significant cut to their own compensation.
All right, well then let's talk about
that
this.
way they ain't gonna be in there forever.
Let's
Exactly.
talk about this big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
All right.
There
So
it
how do
is.
we feel about it? Is this a capper? Do we like this bill, or is this a no cap? You know, we really ain't go over
It's so much that's in the
Yeah.
damn thing. We can talk
because
about
there's a
this
lot
for
of good
hours.
things in it
It's good
as
things
well.
and it's bad things to a degree as well. I was
All right. Well, this is the show up capper then. This ain't to put the cap on.
right.
So we'll shake it up and down, show it back and forth.
Okay.
Because we kind of shaky on this bill here.
Yeah, I'm kind of shaky because I'm almost 50-50 because there's some good in it,
Right. Yeah.
but the other stuff that's in it is like, oh, what the fuck, here it goes.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's the way I
Exactly.
feel.
And that's why we're gonna do the segment, man,
That's the way I
because
feel,
that's how I feel about the administration.
Right.
Right now it is pretty much 50-50, 40-60
Yeah.
with
yeah.
the good things, bad things.
Uh-huh.
And a quick shout out, man, to my in-laws for copping the cap for me.
Yeah.
For the
yeah,
show.
yeah,
For the
yeah,
show,
yeah.
guys.
All right.
Well, since Jay Moore took us there, did you want to go over the All-State thing, Anderson?
Yeah, man, that's one of the things I saw. They don't want to pay out no claims, but the Allstate CEO was making $26 million last year.
Last year? Yep.
You know how all those insurance companies start canceling insurance policies and not paying out claims. You know, once some tornadoes and everything hit.
Fires,
I
tornadoes,
was just gonna say,
tsunamis,
just to
stuff like that. Hurricane.
It's what the heck was that? Somebody was just finna get hit, or they on radar to get hit, and right now their insurance companies are pulling out now because it's like they watching the weather, like, oh, it's storm
Yeah, it's
coming.
probably
We closing up, and that's
because-
literally what they're doing.
I keep hearing about this underwater volcano or this underwater fault line
Okay.
that's, I believe it's on the West Coast,
Mhm.
that's going to do some damage. So I'm hearing a lot of the insurance companies
Yeah.
are pulling out on the West Coast.
Exactly.
And
Mhm.
same thing when the fires hit
When
too
the fire
as well.
hit, you're
You know.
sitting right next to water, you start a fire and you pull out and don't nobody use the damn water.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Now water's supposed to come and do some damage, now you're just pulling out again. I don't.
It's salt water though, guys.
Man, I guess it's different.
House?
Yeah,
What's the
this-
difference, guys?
This lady in Georgia, she said, you know, a hurricane Helene came through there. The damage, independent assessments put the damage at $500,000, and Allstate wanted to give her $46,000. They can pay the CEO 26 million.
$26 million.
They said the lady can't get her claim paid out, but the CEO, Tom Wilson, Tom whoever he is, That's 26 million. Why is this a salary a priority, but Miss Miguel's claim isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
They was grilling them on at a Senate hearing.
And it's like, bro, take some of your 26 million
And pay that.
and make the customer happy.
Right. Exactly.
That's terrible. But that's the.
The Congress said it sounds like a whole bunch of fraud to me. You just put it out there. And then the CEOs or whoever they had up there talking about, oh, that the added risk isn't being reflected in the company's financials. Nigga, y'all got enough money. Y'all had $64 billion in revenue.
Mhm.
That's up 12% from the year before that. So why you can't pay out? You making 64 billion. So why you can't pay out 3-4 billion for these? You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
still got profit.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's called greed.
Yes.
I get
Yes, it is.
it. I get it. Called greed.
Fiscal year, Allstate at 64 billion in revenue. 2024, they pulled in a record 169 billion in profit. 90% jump from previous years. So they just don't want to pay the money out. They got it, but they don't want to pay it.
Yep.
Man, this is. I'm still going over some more stuff. Like I said, it's such a deep dive inside this dang big beautiful deal, bro.
Man, insurance is one of the biggest
Man.
scams
He
in the
done went
world,
back on
bro.
the. He went
Yeah,
back
because
on
Y'all
I'm
need
just
to
looking
dive
at
that
some
much.
numbers over here, and
He
this
on the big beautiful bills.
Oh, that? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Looking at this, man. Just read, boy. Hey, y'all look into it.
How much
Don't
they
mind
taking
me.
in
Look, I
versus
ain't
how
gonna
much
say
they
nothing.
spending.
Just look at
That's
that.
all they need to worry about.
He's still on the big
I
beautiful.
But
found
stop
some
cutting
more
the shit
what
for
I
the
don't
people.
like. I guess I'll
Stop
say that. I
cutting
found
taxes
some more
for
what I
rich
don't
people.
like. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Especially when I'm reading something talking about people damn near gonna have to pay $3,500 a year just to have a job under certain federal worker situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they fed. They work for
Start
the
a
feds.
church and
Yeah.
stop paying
They
taxes.
work for the feds,
Yeah,
huh?
that's what they get.
You
I
put
don't know.
exempt on your
I ain't gotta worry
W-4.
about the federal
You need to take the
employees
right
retirement
steps.
system.
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, man, it's just like I said. I'm still.
All right, let's get into some conspiracy theory action.
Say something you want me to talk about. But
We'll move back. That boy on the big medical bill.
Fuck that.
Big beautiful bill.
Look,
Sorry.
I'm like, let's get that deal.
Have you guys heard about these hidden files found in the presidential library? Talking about we made contact with NHIs
Nah, you
Uh,
ain't.
like 50 plus years ago,
Mhm.
60 years ago. But now the FBI saying that these files is fake or whatever, the
Right.
documents are fake, but they're in the presidential library.
Exactly. Like, come
So
on.
it's like, man, I use common sense with stuff, guys.
Right.
And if they're talking about 50, 60 years ago, the most famous one, you can go to the Roswell, which is 47.
Okay.
It's well known and documented that it was contact then, so
Right.
why they lying still? For what?
Let's see here. It say the files claim that a secret government program established communications with UFOs in 1959.
Correct.
Project Sigma, which was started in 1954, used a binary computer language and sent along radio signals into space to make contact with aliens. 5 years later, the interstellar connection took place. So they actually contacted NHI supposedly.
Okay.
Okay, the files claim that on April 25th, 1964, a single intelligence agent met with 2 extraterrestrials at a prearranged location in the New Mexico desert. They said the meeting lasted about 3 hours, and the aliens and the agent shared information about respected races.
Okay.
The document also detailed how a secret government group called the Majestic 12,
I'm very familiar
which
with
is
those
brought up
guys.
again because this document so fake. Everyone's heard about the
We
Majestic
know about the
12.
Majestic 12.
Use their incredible power to keep this secret info from the military and the White House.
Gotcha.
So, just a little information I wanted to go over regarding that the U.S. government has had information and has had contact with NHI's non-human intelligence, over 60 years now, over 60 years. So more information's coming out about the Bean Blue. I think y'all trying to run on us. If but I feel that there may be other races, man. I just feel that there are. So
Other side of the ice wall.
exactly.
I'm always refer to my history when speaking on something like this. It's been written in stone, on paper, in wood, on metal, on clothes, throughout history. It's people that be coming from some the fuckwhere else pulling up on us.
Right.
So like I said, they finally want to be open about it. That's fine. I appreciate it. But stop, the Vatican got more of the stories because they stole all of the books that told you about it.
Yep.
They over there. How about that? Let's make a world law that say open the goddamn on Vatican.
Right.
Turn it into a tourist site. Oh, you don't want us to see the truth, huh? But then
They ain't gonna clear it out.
That's always the story.
Yeah, they
They
gonna
want you to
clear
see
it
the
out.
truth. They want you to see what they want you to see.
Okay, guys,
I'm a weekend
it's time for J Moore. It's time for J Moore to go in. He ready.
No, I'm not.
He ready.
I'm not.
He been ready to go in on the president.
No.
A lot of stuff going on there. They cut the tariffs.
Yes, sir.
Lowering the prescription drugs.
They put a 90-day freeze on tariffs to China, 145% tariff.
But can we
So
get-
what? Is this a cap or a no cap?
Shit that we knew was gonna happen. Niggas
But-
just negotiate.
The thing that a lot of people don't know. All right, I think America has a 25% tariff on China with steel, and we've signed
Still,
that.
that was the original.
The tariff was already signed for that. That was, that's
that
old.
was in
We
place.
going down
Now-
to 10%. He said.
Yeah. Now China got a 10% tariff on us, but we have a 30% tariff on them, plus the 25% tariff
Exactly.
with the steel.
It's a
So,
totality
okay, yeah.
of all of
Yeah.
Like
to make the
55% tariff on China with the
Yeah.
steel and the goods.
So they got 10% and we got 30.
We got really 55.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It seems like that's working.
Hell yeah.
That's
we got the
working
better
now.
deal.
Yeah, that's
Fuck.
that's the cap.
I understand math. Nigga.
Yeah, that's the cap there.
And my thing is, when that motherfucking freeze come up, just like we speak on them ceasefires, that don't mean jack everything and fuck everything up after it's come to an initial. That way, at the end of that,
Mhm.
shit is in place and shit can be smooth. Don't just, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with that.
Now, with the executive order to cut the prescription drugs by 60 to 80%, is that in the big beautiful bill?
I think that's separate.
That's separate.
The drug makers got 30 days to lower the cost of prescription drugs in the U.S., or they will face new limits down the road over what the government will pay to them.
Oh man, well I think that's a super cap.
And,
Yeah, that's a super cap there, guys.
And just to tell y'all a little deeper dive on that, that was slightly in play due to the broad that, well, not broad, excuse my French. I didn't mean to say that, but Kamala Harris, when she was in office, she did get it passed for the elder people, to only have to pay upwards to $2,000 a year for their medication, and they were trying to implement that for all citizens. So this is a help. So this is definitely a cap. I appreciate that because I appreciated the move that she was on, and for him to extend it, I'm definitely cap on.
Yeah, that's a cap.
Definitely.
All right, I'll put the cap back on. All right, man. Jay Moore, you talked about it last week. Let's talk about these South Africans again, man. How we feeling about that? I think who sent that? You?
No, that was
I said that.
Okay.
I think Anderson.
Anderson, yeah.
Trump was meeting over there with the
The
president.
president of South Africa in there.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to shake his fist at that dude over the white folk. I think it's just another media story to make division.
Yeah, this one of them cap. This one of them no caps.
No
Yeah.
cap, 'cause
I ain't no fan.
No.
I don't like
It don't look good, but at the same time, I see where he coming from, because if the white people was doing that to the black people, you know what I'm saying, people would be upset.
Right.
It's got to be equal across the board, so I get that part.
Mhm.
But the focus on the white farmers, it's not a good look. It just feeds into the division there.
Definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like we spoke, I mean, apartheid is still sniffed around, bro. Just like racism is still relevant here, just because they passed the laws against apartheid. Finally, racism doesn't go away.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And if you start showing specific favor too much, it may not even be racist or
Any group.
but
Yeah.
you showing favoritism, so it's still a slap in the face. You could not be racist in the situation, but if you just favoring your way, and you may not have done that, to another color, it come off a little funny. And I told y'all how I felt about that, in the past few weeks about.
I think last week.
Understand how we could be positioning to, and everybody needs help. I'm not against nobody getting help, but when you got millions of oppressed people, going through their situation in your own country, you need to be popping out. He should be at our door right now, interrupting our show. Hey, I know you brothers is hardworking men, and y'all trying to raise the family. What can I help? Nobody coming to help us.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
no one has.
So,
no one came to help. So.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
All of it's a good
So
show.
the South African president told him he was wrong. They're not really picking on no white folks or nothing like that. So he say he need to chill out on that type of talk.
Yeah.
I agree with that part.
Yeah, and supposedly Trump pulled out these videos of South Africans.
Yeah, they wasn't going for it.
So,
They wasn't going for it.
we'll move on.
I
big.
can't wait.
No
can't
cap.
wait to
We don't
see
like
what
that.
This cap going to
We're gonna go to this Golden Dome defense system.
Yes.
Now, how do we feel about this? Is this something?
I mean, I don't know. Simpsons, they had Springfield Dome. We supposed to be under our firmament, our dome.
Is this gonna be an actual dome, or is this gonna be like an
I think it's
atmospheric
gonna be like an
layer?
atmospheric.
Like radars and stuff like that, like how Israel got.
When you think about
We need to be updated.
When you think about conspiracy,
We pay for everybody else.
When you think about Nibiru conspiracy, think about Nibiru conspiracy. Their firmament atmosphere was gold.
Firmament was golden. Supposedly that's why they came here.
And if you pay attention to gold, it is one of the highest used materials for, I would say, aviation or computer or strength or system as far as doing that. So if you call it a golden dome, I'm definitely sure you're going to be having some gold materials. Is it going to be like on a holographic form? I'm not sure.
Well, how do we feel about it?
I mean,
something we feel needed.
I feel like it ain't necessary unless you starting some shit.
Don't think it's needed.
We don't know if.
I mean, it's
like
we preparing for nuclear war.
Right.
Something like that.
I'm not going to even say that. I just read in an article that we have contacted and have been in contact with NHIs. So to want something to the extent of a golden dome,
and it has to be like I don't have the words to actually
And I'm not
how
saying
to say it, but
we're not saying it's gonna be golden necessarily. It may be a
Necessarily,
radar system, and this is
of
just the
course.
name.
Right.
But there
That's
may
what I'm
be
thinking.
some type of gold infusion
it has to be. It will
to
be.
where they will be using gold in some which state of some way, shape, or form. We're looking at what happened to the gold anyway.
Yeah.
So
There it is. They
we
got a
don't
plan
know
for
what's
it.
going on with the gold. So this could be a play on words where they
Mm-hmm.
actually using something that's needed.
Yeah.
This may be the only defense against something that's coming from outside the ice wall.
And gold is very, very, very useful in a
It's in
lot of
everything.
different ways.
It's in your phone. It's in your computers.
There's
It's
gold in
minimal.
there's
You know,
gold in
but it's in
everybody's
there.
iPhone right now.
You
There's
can,
gold in there.
go melt it down and you will run into gold. Now it's minimal, but you have gold in your phone.
Yeah, man, because I'm really trying to really just figure out, like, me and my brain, like you were saying, is going to be a defense system, but how? Is it just radar? Because we have radar already. We already have defense weaponry. So what could it be for something to hit it and it explode? That's some kind of a force shield, which we know.
Would
They're
that
digging
work?
into Egyptian and Mesopotamia and all that. Like I spoke on, I threw out Nibiru real quick with the golden firmament. Maybe they've been working on something to figure out how to expand a force field.
Yeah.
That's all it could really be, is they've really figured out how to make an energy bulb that they can expand.
And that word dome,
Mhm.
that word dome is gonna really catch everybody.
Yeah.
The word dome is really gonna catch everybody
Yeah,
because they
'cause when
feel
you put
they
a
gonna feel
dome
like
on
they're enclosed in
No.
something that's already enclosed.
Yeah.
They're
How do you-
already enclosed.
How do you
Right.
put a dome over something
A dome.
that's on the side of the ball?
Yeah.
It would really only work if you could put a
It's
dome
not flat. Right.
over.
Of course.
Just saying, geometrically by design, you put a dome on a flat surface because it's basically a half of a bubble.
Right.
It's half of a circle. You sit on top. You gonna put that on the curvature here from where they say you place that on the earth.
Ain't gonna work, brother.
So,
Gonna
Mr.
work.
Anderson, you had something you wanted to add to that?
Oh yeah. I just was saying that the USA is gonna need Canada's partnership on the dome.
mhm.
It says here Canada has nearly 4 million square miles of territory. That airspace offers a crucial line of sight for U.S. sensors to shoot down missiles that will come from Beijing or Moscow, flying, over the North Pole and in that general area. So they're gonna have to get them to go in on it.
Now, my response is y'all probably not gonna think, but that's cap for me.
So we feel like
That's cap for me because if we have that kind of power, and if you coming out talking about the NHIs and this, that, and the third, which also coincides with me being a flat earther, I'm sorry. I'm here for that because that's telling me something could come and you trying to protect me.
and we trying to unite as a race to
So
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I could get with defense. I'm always here for defense.
Yeah, me too, man. That's
I'm just trying to figure out what we're defending against.
Yeah,
We don't know yet.
Question.
That's what
we
I want
don't
to
know
figure
yet.
out.
And
We don't know yet.
and with my fake quantum physics brain, how the hell is y'all just not gonna have a force field up there from what you're saying? Because there has to be some sort of
Hey, they said
And then I say you do whatever you need to do then, because it's always the civilian or the innocent people that
They
always
get hit.
pay the brunt of
Yeah.
whatever.
so. We need that dome.
I'm here for it if it's a real thing.
I feel the cap now.
I'ma definitely find out. How.
Hey,
they
we
gonna-
live here. We want to be protected.
Definitely.
So we don't know if this dome is gold infused, golden laser radar
We'll need some
infused.
more info.
Yeah, we really don't know, and we don't know what we're up against. We
So,
really don't.
I'm here for them putting that in the works. I'm here for that.
Okay, big cap on that.
You wanted to talk about them ticks that
Yeah,
the
I have-
scientists trying to release?
I had an article that scientists want to release a tick that makes you allergic to red meat. Now this tick has, when it bites you, it releases something into you that gives you something called alpha gal syndrome,
Yep.
and it's also known as the red meat allergy.
Yep.
It is a serious allergic reaction to sugars found in mammals
Yep.
triggered by tick bites.
Mhm.
Symptoms can be mild to life-threatening and can also include hives, itching, swelling, difficult breathing, and anaphylaxis. Alpha-gal syndrome is primarily linked to bites from the Lone Star tick
Right.
in the U.S., but other ticks worldwide also can cause it. But yeah, I was reading this article, and scientists want to release this tick to try to get people off meat. You know, everybody was on this green vegetarian kick, so it may be a way for the government, which I hope the RFKs and the administration isn't with this, but maybe a way for the government to control what people eat
Yeah.
and what they want to eat.
And that's definitely where I'm at with it. But it still puts me just in the mental concern of, if you're pushing people away from red meat, then you have to be pushing them to eat something else. Now, do we have to be concerned with what you're pushing us to eat if you're excluding something
Well,
for us
it's
to eat?
been brought to us, man, and it makes a lot of sense. How is there enough meat to supply the people
Yeah.
just in this continent alone? Not even talking about the stuff that we supposedly ship off to other countries as
Correct.
well.
They're killing with mad cow disease and all this different stuff. They don't seem to be producing the amount that seems to be
Yeah.
eaten.
And like we spoke on that before, over in China somewhere. I can't remember the exact city, but it's widely known over there. They had their sewage fecal matter backup situation, and those scientists figured out how to modify fecal matter into steak.
Yeah, they making poop in the food, clothing.
Yeah,
They just
clothing,
trying to,
everything.
yeah.
But yeah, the alpha gal syndrome, they've been studying it since 2010.
Once they found out, yeah.
About 110,000 suspected cases, but they think that may be an undercount. They're not sure.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's probably why they're trying to implement it now. They done been studied it and be like, okay, this might be the answer.
It turns
to
people
what we
off
need to
from
do.
meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make you sick next time you try to eat it.
Yep. Yep. Allergic reaction. Like I said, hives, itching, swelling, difficult breathing, and anaphylaxis. So we'll
Wouldn't
move.
surprise me.
No, not at all, man. Just another way to control the people and what they eat. So from there, we're gonna move on to the ninja news.
What
Say
talk?
it ain't so.
Ninja, please.
Finish it.
Man,
Jay Moore, get us popping with the ninja news, bro. You wanted to talk about the Bowser.
hold on.
You wanted to talk
She
about.
got both ass cheese bouncing and of a dribble. I said, "Man, hold on now. You know what? He might have a hit. I might have to go to the strip club, see what they doing to this song.
Bossy
Girl
man.
like the song.
D-Lo.
Down here doing concentration workouts with her and stuff, watching her butt while we working out, and then come to find out, this man's name is starting to bother me with the story that came with him.
Huh?
His name is Boss Man D-Lo. That sounds kind of tough right there. Boss Man
Suspect.
D-Lo. But then
Suspect.
the story that came out was maybe Boss Man is on a different D-Lo. Maybe it's down low.
Yeah.
Some
How you name
transmission
yourself?
transformer, excuse my French, transmission
Bumblebee, Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime, man. What is you talking about? And put this man on blast. And this man up here begging for love. Talking about, you just looking for money. The transmission says you just want sex. I said, hold on!
How you got his number and y'all exchanging? Yeah. It's enough. And I seen the picture. He should have kept that on the EL. The even lower down.
The EL.
He should have been boss man.
Yeah,
EL.
man. So it messed me up. Then, so then, I was just trying to figure out why is his name D-Lo, and this come about.
Man, we know
I
not.
said, man, you couldn't have had the worst name ever in the world when you first came out. But man, D-Lo sound like you probably in the hood, so you out shit. No, brother, you on the real D-Lo.
Yeah, that's what
I know R. Kelly said keep it on the down low, but you took it too fucking far.
Yeah. Well,
He took it too far. He took
Terrible.
it too far. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, so boss man D-Lo on the D-Lo. I mean, I don't, hey, it's,
Okay, and other ninja news, Chris Brown got to get bail. He got bail.
Oh, we got out good.
yeah.
But I don't think he can come to his home. I think he's entrapped for a few months because they worried about him not coming back.
Right.
No,
So,
he better
Oh, man.
but for
I wouldn't
everybody,
come back.
yeah, for everybody who don't know, Chris Brown is facing life in prison for pretty much assault and battery with a bottle in his feet. To multiple other weapons of his body he used on a guy in the UK. And their laws are a bit different.
Yes.
So he's dealing with that. But yeah, he made bail. They're gonna let him do his little tours or whatever. But I don't think he can come here for a few months.
You need some money to pay.
I don't know the premise of the situation. I ain't pacifying nothing. Sometimes you gotta put your hands and feet on people. I don't know the situation. I'm not saying whoever the guy was deserved what he got, but all I know is you don't deserve to go life in prison for whooping somebody ass.
Man, you deserve to have your security guard just do it.
Should have sat
They
back.
should have beat him up. Like, well, you Chris Brown.
Yeah, just scuff him up or something. I don't know.
Chris Brown, you supposed to be like, bro, I'm out of here. Handle that.
Yeah.
Get him up out of here. Security.
Yep.
Yeah, you got too much money to be jeopardizing your future.
It's a bad mistake, man, and them mistakes cost us, y'all. You gotta be careful with the decisions that you make. Again, that's why I say path, focused, ordered, course.
Take, 3 seconds to make
They want you
one
to fuck
decision.
up. They make money off of every fuck up.
Okay. Other ninja news, did you guys hear about this guy who shot a teen who was playing ding dong ditch at 3 a.m.?
3 in the morning, yeah.
He was stupid.
And they saying he was playing ding dong ditch, but this guy saying that the guys were trying to break into his house. The teens were breaking into his house, and I thought it was like curfews, man. What is teens doing out at 3 in the morning? Where they parents at?
Where those parents and truancy at?
They probably sleep like normal people is.
Yeah, that's sad though, man. We should
You gotta put a lock on the door for the kids.
we gotta raise our kids better though. They sneaking out to go get shot.
Right.
So, and then you get woke up in the morning by the police knocking on your door saying your kid got shot.
Several careless choices and decisions in
Yeah, and it's sad because God defending his house, his family, of course.
As he should.
If it's 3 in the morning and something going on, I'm gonna grab the banger and let it go too. I'm fresh out my sleep.
Immediately.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab the banger too, and this is gonna let go. I got a family to protect.
Bro, my cousin used to stay over at the house. We was like 10, 11, 12 and shit. And we used to sneak out the house. We wouldn't go fuck with nobody else's house though. We'd go down to the park or we'd be outside in the front fucking around. We wouldn't fuck with nobody else's shit.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Ain't no respect. Everything's a joke.
You were parented right to have respect for other people and other people's property.
That's it.
So I hope everything works out with the guy who actually shot the teen.
Yeah.
Right, because he was just definitely defending his home.
Rest in peace to the teen, condolences to his family, but
of course,
you should have did a better job. Like you should have did a better job.
Bad decision.
Very bad decisions. From there, we'll move on
To one more bad decision, but
you got Rod
Wave guy.
I didn't even know about this.
Mr. I can't even remember how some of his songs go, but the funny part is he always singing and crying
He got the singing
on the song.
Yeah.
Real emotional. I call it emo music, honestly, because it's emotional.
Yep.
So to me, it's emo. I don't give a damn what y'all think. He's an emo rapper. But anyway, so this man bust up his dang on baby mama's car and shot the joint up 14 times. Pop, 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 pop.
It's funny, he said baby mama, so he has children with this one.
Obviously.
That makes no sense.
He has a child with this
Who's
woman.
the baby and who's the woman in this situation?
That's it.
Yeah, bro.
That's some female-minded action right there. Super emotional and not thinking about no consequences at all.
And the reason why I wanted to bring this up, of course, is it's in the Watal stage, but this is a lesson to you young women, older women, young men, older men. This boy music, I'm not saying this is just it, but his whole gimmick is boo-hoo, cry, 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 emotional. And look what he did.
Yeah.
When you surround yourself with too much of the same emotion, energy,
and not logic.
Right.
Come on, bro, that's how you gonna react. And don't no man need to be sitting up here boo-hooing and crying all the time.
Yeah.
Cause look what that do.
Yeah.
When the man is focused on learning, being structured, delivering information, and making sure he's the best he can be, he ain't finna act like that.
Yeah, man. My niece was a big Rod Wave fan. She is a big Rod Wave fan. She hit me on to him. Good music. I think his CD a classic. She sent it to me and I checked it out.
Didn't say it didn't.
But like Jay Moore said, it's hard to listen to that all day.
I can.
But like even with the Boss Man D-Lo, Rod Wave is more of a lyricist to me.
Definitely.
Boss Man will ever be.
Definitely.
Boss Man is a talk rapper to me. I don't know what they call this stuff now, but he's like a talk rapper.
Should be called a bark rapper.
I feel like these guys' cadence are off the beat, and it's hard for me to listen to it. I am a writer. I've been doing it for a long time, and to listen to a lot of this new stuff, it's hard. But from there, we'll move on, man. We'll just talk about Diddy a little bit, because you know the trial going on. I think it was week 2.
Right. This shit
Kid Cudi came on the stage.
People testifying.
Yes, sir.
Man, Diddy had he had an issue with wanting to be in control and hitting people. He hit a chef. He kidnapped an assistant. He was overworked working his assistants. 2 of his assistants said they worked 80 to 100 plus hours a week.
That's insane. One
assistant was making $70,000 a year. I believe the other assistant said he was making around $100,000 a year.
And
Cassie's mama came on the stand, said that Diddy pretty much extorted her for $20,000, saying that he would release a tape of Cassie if her mother didn't come up with $20,000. She came up with it. You know, I think she may have did some things with her house or whatever, but she did come up with the money, paid him, and I think he gave it back to her in 4 days. So he made her go through all this stuff, and he's a billionaire pretty much. So it's like, yeah, that's something. That's her mother. That's her mom, bro. Also, some of the workers came on stand, stated, you know, the type of stuff that they went through. They Diddy liked, you know, the scene to be full of oil. He liked to not be really seen. He would wear the mask, you know, like the Muslims wear, the Muslim women wear. What is that like? I don't know what it's called. It's a burqa. I don't know what it's called. But he would wear the upper garment, you know, that Muslim women would wear to hide his face. And pretty much sit in the corner, Cassie would tell them not to acknowledge him. He always had Astroglide.
Man, stop.
His
He
assistant
always
said
said
his
that.
assistant said he always had to have Astroglide and ketchup, and baby oil and ketchup. Uh, just a lot of stuff, man. Kid Cudi came on the stand, said his car was blown up, his house was broken into, and it seems to point back to Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think
I
what
remember
else.
that story.
Just going over stuff real quick.
Another filing is coming up.
Yep. Yep.
It's a guy, I can't remember his exact name, is Rodney Ronald something, and he alleges he was working for I guess like small talent agency type thing in Atlanta. It was a situation where Diddy and Farnsworth Bentley was there.
Which is he's coming up now.
Yeah.
He's gonna get subpoenaed.
Farnsworth Bentley approached the guy, asked him about his work, and asked him, did he know some girls he could bring to a Diddy after party. And allegedly, for some reason, this guy brought a 13, 14-year-old girl with him. And he claims Diddy and Farnsworth drugged him and the girls and raped all three of them. That just dropped like super middle of the night last night. So that's my Diddy update, because I know you've been tearing up the trail. So
Yeah,
I've
I've pretty much been on it every day. I can listen to it at work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was bringing up Kid Cudi.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye pissed me off.
Uh-oh.
Kid Cudi was his artist.
Yes, he was.
He said Kid Cudi shouldn't have testified. Kanye, man, I just want to say it on camera, on film. I thought you was one of the best musicians to ever do it. I know you wasn't a big writer. I know you wasn't writing everything, but the music you were putting together, man, the composition,
the production was
your production and composition was like none other. But bro, you a super R band, man. And I'm gonna break that down for everybody who don't know. He's a super real bitch ass nigga. Now, if Diddy was beating up Northwest and peeing on her and splitting her eye all open to where she got permanent damage and extorting you and her mother, would you feel the same way? I know you big on, trying to be extremely controversial and all this, bro, but you fucked up with this one, man. You need to just distance yourself from Diddy, because you already got your own issues. But I want the world to know, man, you a super R band.
Yeah,
like you a super R band
ass nigga, and our band is against our band.
Yeah, and you want to talk about Kim and your kids being, kept away from you. This guy's daughters walked out of the courtroom because the stuff they were hearing that he was doing.
Back up.
So
Show back up.
stop being an R band, man. Stop trying to be so controversial. Try to get back to making good music, man, because it's gonna be hard. You lost a lot of fans.
Remember what it was like before you sacrificed your mama. How about that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that, man. But you a fucking.
He
R
said
band.
it out his mouth.
Yeah, you a R band.
He said it out his
Yeah.
mouth. I'm not making this up.
Yeah,
He
man.
said it.
Or Happy Meals. It came with a few perks.
He said this. I'm not making. He said.
I mean, that's what R bands do.
The fuck. I'm
Super
just
R bands.
repeating what he said. He said it out his mouth.
But from there,
I said my take on the Diddy thing again. I think it's a distraction from whoever's trafficking the actual children of people, hundreds or whatever they do with the shipping containers and all that shit. I think this is just for the news, so that when somebody says, trafficking, they'll think of Diddy, and these people in the big organizations will continue to get away with it.
well, man, all I want to say is I want to give a shout out to what is being done. We done got rid of Epstein, Weinstein. That's two white guys. Now we on the diddler. So, I mean, I've been messing with Allie Carter for years now, and she brought him up from the beginning. So that was a young indigenous baby. So when you was if you messing with babies, man, you gotta go. I don't care who you are. So I just want to say that everything's a distraction in my eyes.
Yeah.
Let's take care of what needs to be taken care of. And that's really us and the babies, man. We got to take care of ourselves in the future.
Yeah.
And the future is the babies.
We gotta make the future better.
And make it better for them, yes. Yeah. On some better ninja news, before we move to the sports, I want to give a shout out to London Muhammad. She is a high school senior that received over 1 million in scholarships and 36 college acceptances.
Excellent.
Wow. She had a 4.6 grade point average, man, and she was a senior at Atlantic Coast High School.
That's amazing.
And she's been accepted into several universities, including like Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State, Alabama, and more. So 36 colleges in total. So I wanted to give a shout out to her and the Ninja News, this beautiful young lady who is the future.
Yeah.
So definitely want to give a shout out to her. But from there, we're gonna move on to the sports.
She just needs to pick the right major that's gonna get you bread once you graduate. That's where her
She seemed like she gonna be a major impact in the future anyway, because she just seemed like she know what she's doing.
Perfect.
Seemed like she got good parents too. So yeah, I want to give a shout out to London Muhammad.
Excellent.
Young lady. Let's go to the sports though.
Yeah.
Last night, New York got whooped on again.
No. The fix is in. The play is on.
I mean, the fix is in, but the fix been in. I've been tired of seeing Brunson flopping. I've been tired of seeing Brunson flopping.
Definitely.
It seems like it ain't working.
My problem is that goofy shot at the end of that dang on game, bro.
The three.
You know what? I'm so ignorant because maybe it's my coach mind. Maybe it's my coach mindset. I would bench him for the next game. Period. Bro, you didn't allow us not to set no play. You didn't get us in no kind of rhythm. You just came down and heaved over 4 people like Steph Curry.
Major time on the clock, bro.
Dumb time.
At least let your guys get under the basket to try to get the rebound. You really, literally just ran down the court and fired it up.
You got Josh Hart down there holding both his knees, yelling, "Why?"
Yeah, Josh Hart was heartbroken.
I would have been too.
No pun intended. But yeah, man, New York lost again.
Yes,
we told you guys, New York is gonna be. They're gonna be like the Browns. They're gonna get their heart broken. They're gonna break all the New York fans' hearts. But from there,
But you got the Pacers and the Knicks, and then you got the Thunder and
Minnesota,
the
T-Wolves.
Okay.
They play tonight.
Yeah.
Minnesota, OKC tonight. I don't think Edwards 100%. I think this is going to be a sweep.
Yeah.
I want to give them a gentleman's sweep and say they may pull off one.
Okay.
I don't think Edwards right. He hurt the same ankle in all 3 series, bro. So he's being a man.
He ain't got enough help anyway.
Yep, and there's not enough scoring. Julius too wishy-washy. Booty Gobert is booty.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna give you 15 and 15.
All he gonna do is
Jay
give you a
only
lob
gonna rock
whenever he's in the area.
when they up and they
He ain't
flow.
guaranteed to give you shit.
He's a role player.
Conley old ass, he'll give you 1 shot a game. He don't have enough help. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. He don't have enough help, man. So I don't really see them doing too much. What is it? Pacers up 2-0. OKC up 2-0. So
it's looking like what it's looking like.
Yeah, man. Usually the winner of Game 3 wins the series, and if New York win, I don't know. Everybody keeps saying if the Pacers go back to New York, they're gonna be in trouble. But I'm looking at
gonna have to go down for a game or 2 for New York to have a chance.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see who they're rigging it for in the finals. That's what
it ain't no rig. The number 1 team is gonna win. And it's been that way.
Really, it's always rigged. What you mean?
It's gonna be highly on Shea for the series. And remember we was discussing that last week. I said if they go that'll be different because it ain't been that kind of a matchup in the finals in fucking forever. Halliburton point, Shea at point.
Yeah.
They own each other the whole game, the whole series.
Yeah.
And they the top talents of both teams.
Right.
Unless that's what they doing, that's all I can say.
I mean,
I'm saying, who do they want to win?
Okay,
shit.
the number one team
the
wins.
alien.
Yeah, the
alien.
number one team wins the
The
majority
alien.
Oh
of the
yeah,
time.
because
what
I
was
did.
Indy?
Yeah, I read
Indy
that
was
article
what?
Like the
last
number
week.
one
They was
team.
fourth.
Yeah.
Was Indy fourth or fifth?
They are fourth, I think.
Fourth.
Okay.
And they,
'Cause
when
New
was
York
the
is
last
third.
time a fourth seed won the finals?
Oh right, yeah, I did read
You
that.
remember
last
that? You the
week.
one that presented
Right, I
that.
brought that up.
I'm like, you presented
All
that.
we got to do is
You
look
funny.
at the teams.
Yeah, I mean,
There is no
Okay.
comparison, even with the benches.
Yeah.
I mean,
OKC
you got
had they
Hartenstein,
benches.
Their bench, yeah.
OKC had they bench whooping people
J
by 20.
Dub,
So
Shea. Come on, man.
It's
Them boys
over
is
with.
laced up.
you know, the Pacers, they very surprising, man, but it's not. OKC a different breed. They done whoop
Yeah.
teams by 20,
Knicks messed
30.
up because they played the game casual. They did what the Browns did.
The Knicks messed up because they coach is Thibodeau and
Yeah.
don't play enough
Uh-oh.
people, so
No.
people get
That
burnt out.
rotation. That
was our
rotation.
But he do it on purpose because they told him.
That's our
They
issue. With, that was
rotation.
our issue with Bickerstaff, and that's going to be their issue in Detroit.
Yeah.
You play the same 6, 7 people. By the end of the year, they burnt out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got OKC. I was wrong. I had the team. You know, I had Denver.
Right, that's what I
And
said.
Atlanta.
I'm like, they're gonna give Shaw
Or-
the MVP, and it's
or-
gonna be Denver.
Or Golden State in Atlanta.
Yeah.
All my top
I
people
had-
got hurt
I
except
had
for
Golden State, LA,
the Joker.
Cleveland.
But Aaron Gordon got hurt, and
Yeah.
you know that's the
That was
superstar.
it. Yeah.
That's the superstar.
He was
stopper.
on saving them every game. Yeah.
Yeah. So once he got hurt, I knew it was over.
And like we had mentioned before, this is that year for the young boys to be there by themselves. No veterans for real. No.
Yeah.
Like I was talking with Sparks. Knicks is the closest to a veteran team that's left in this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to transfer over to the new
To the young
the new
boys. If you
stars.
think about it.
'Cause
both
that's the
young-
future, like we said.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
future. Hey, yeah, Sparks just
All
said.
right, real quick while we're still on the sports, wanted to get your opinion on this so we can wrap it up. Is the refs calling too many fouls?
Yeah, they call fouls, or the coach didn't put
And too
Towns back in there.
And too
Until
many
2 minutes.
bad fouls
Yeah.
also.
Yeah,
When I watched that,
that's how they control it.
the last OKC game.
Yeah, Shy wasn't even getting touched.
Oh my God! Somebody jumped in the air, and they jerseys rubbed y'all. They called the foul. I said, man, ain't no way. Literally, Shea was weaving around people and falling. They calling the foul.
Yeah.
People like, man, bro, I'm not even touching this man.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, I definitely, hey, cap. Yeah. that's a cap on the referee.
Depends
Well,
on what the
yeah.
quarter scoring is. Depend on what the they doing the parlays with the players. All of that
Mhm.
stuff. It's a factor.
That's definitely a cap on them referees.
Okay.
I know
I
this
wanted
ain't
to,
capping no cap, y'all, but I'm putting a cap on them referees because that's that trash.
That would be no cap, honestly.
Yeah.
We wouldn't put the cap on.
No. I thought the question was, do we agree?
Oh, that they
Yeah.
are? Yeah,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
And too many bad calls.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Travis Hunter, daddy.
hmm
You know, he got picked by the Jaguars. The Browns picked him, then they traded him because they're stupid. That's all.
That's
Yeah.
it,
But his daddy keep on getting arrested. They put that in the news on Yahoo News. This fool driving around, his son about to get millions and millions of dollars.
Be on a
This fool
professional
driving
stage.
around with a suspended license, get pulled over and over.
Yeah.
They pulled him over in 2023 November because he didn't have a light on the tag. All you needed was a bulb for that. When they pulled him over, they found drugs, they found a gun, they found all type of crap in there. And they keep pulling him over, and again, they keep on giving him tickets for driving without a license. So he pleaded guilty to possession and the gun and everything. And this is like the second or third time he was convicted. They only gave him 90 days, bro, and 3 years of probation. But he trying to talk the judge down, talking about, well, my son need me because he about to start his new career. The judge, of course, didn't buy it because he's not an idiot. I just thought it was hilarious. Bro, they only gave you 90 days.
Parents.
What you trying to talk it down for?
Parents do not live.
Stop making your son look bad, dummy. That's what you need to be worried about.
Parents do not live vicariously through your children. Do not think their success is your success.
Yes.
And you can live how you think they
He figured he could do what he wanted to do, type of thing.
Parents, do not live vicariously through your children because you can ruin what they got going.
Exactly.
Parents, do not live vicariously through your children. You are supposed to make a path for your children.
Yes, sir.
Parents, do not live vicariously through your children. You will embarrass your children.
Right, nigga, talk about shit though.
Man, how about my boy coming
They
through?
talking about he might start.
Yeah, man, they talking about that speculation. I mean, minicamp wasn't nothing, but again, I do not understand. Like we spoke on, if it's punishment to Deion or if it's punishment to Shador, I'm not sure.
I'm just waiting
But
on
you can't
preseason
deny
so
the
we can see
truth.
what he look like.
You cannot deny the truth, and I'm sure that boy just being him. I'm sure he not killing himself. I'm sure he just being him. And he went in the minicamp. He went in the ring. It's 4 quarterbacks. 4.
Man, it is 3.5.
Well, you get it.
Gabriel is my height. What is he gonna do?
Remember what we said? Watch all of Gabriel and Dylan's highlights. That boy, he's jumping.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
But
good.
yeah, Shador doing his thing.
Another
I'm
dumb
real
pick.
proud of him.
Andrew Berry should have been fired 4 years ago.
Maybe he don't need to wear that number 2 because Tim Couch didn't do too good. in that two.
Andrew Dickleberry.
Right.
Should have got fired.
He didn't do
Years
too good in that number 2, Tim Couch. So maybe Shador should be good with that too.
Shador, rock out. I'm watching
I
you
can't
and
wait.
Miles.
I
I'm
can't
watching
wait
you
to
and
see.
Miles this year. I can't even watch my boy
Preseason,
Jeremiah
baby.
Wusu more.
hurt.
He done got hurt. But yeah, that was my
See
3
what they
people,
doing
bro. From there,
Can't
we're
wait.
gonna rock out. So Jay Moore, anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Man, path to everybody as usual. Order focus course. Make sure you put that in your daily life.
Mr. Anderson, anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, man. Don't let your Lucky Charms marshmallows sit in that milk too long. It's soggy. You don't want that.
You get that rainbow milk.
Yeah.
It ain't magically delicious. Oh man, from there, man.
That's
Hope everybody have a beautiful Saturn's day. Enjoy that OKC Minnesota game tonight. Hope everybody's vibrating on a good frequency. Hope everybody's energy is positive. And we definitely hope everybody is giving and receiving the love that we all desire. Until next time, man. Black Minds out. We love y'all.
This show is for entertainment purposes.
Oh man, hit that like, comment, please subscribe,
Black Minds Entertainment.
and go do your own research on any information that we brought to y'all today. Love y'all, man. Black Minds out.